the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we'll see Russell Wilson. He had a solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Broncos and the Jets, and it comes your way next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column. Something's
got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
And off we go from Denver. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. We'll get our first look at this New York Jets offense, really retooled the last couple of seasons. And at the helm under center, second overall pick from 2021 out of BYU, Zach Wilson.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw 1 touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
Now the first running back drafted in April, this is Breece Hall. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. We're taking a look at Hall's numbers from a week ago. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
2nd and 5 now. Wilson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Wilson to Wilson there. Zach to Garrett for a Jet first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. From midfield now, here's Wilson. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Their first possession of the game, and they're already going after double coverage.
That's a nice completion that can set the tone for things to come if they're able to keep finding ways to beat what the defense is throwing at them. They look like they're confident that they can get it done.
They run with a veteran of 8 years now. It's Melvin Gordon. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
We know Melvin Gordon is very effective getting to the perimeter, but being a former University of Wisconsin Badger means you know how to run the ball inside and with power as well. I also like the fact that he's a weapon in the passing game. Had as many as 58 catches in a season. Throw it to him in space and look out.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson eluding the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Russell Wilson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Jets take it over again. Breece Hall making his way out with the offense.
And Charles, he's a rookie. He's put it on the ground once, maybe defensively. Now they're saying, okay, we can get this young buck to cough it up 2-3 times. He's got to be careful here.
Yeah, they do tend to zero in on the young runners because once one comes out, as you noted, you think there's an opportunity for more. This is where you have to get with that guy and say, all right, they're going to come after you, but we believe in your talents. Take care of the football, and let's go.
From the 31, Wilson forced it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson.
And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run it up the middle now. Gordon. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. On third down, Wilson. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed it. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Wilson. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. It's taken to the 26. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Wilson will throw again. Got him in on the right sideline. It's Patrick. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Wilson. Touchdown, Broncos! Albert O from 4 yards out. And the Broncos have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll give to Hall. He'll take this to the 46. Hall again on 2nd down. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Wilson. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Throw left side, complete. That's Wilson. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Open man here is Conklin. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilson. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Again, Wilson. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Randy Gregory. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the 1st down sack. Wilson complete on the quick throw to Moore. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Zach Wilson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Jets are back within a score.
Well, that's what you want to see from your quarterback when it's a goal line situation. A guy who's not afraid to tuck the ball, give his body up, and get into the end zone. That ought to inspire his entire team.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. A 10-play drive that time. And it was Zach Wilson who took it in himself on the touchdown run to cap it off. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for first.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. But 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Being chased out left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. This one complete to the running back, Chase Edmonds. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's a give up the middle. It's Gordon. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. New York's offense back out there and set to go. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation, because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Baron Browning from his outside linebacker spot gets him down there for a loss of 4. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Out now is the punter, Braden Mann. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now Wilson on 1st down. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in here by Patrick.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go play action now. Wilson.
This will be caught. Judy.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Throwing again here, Wilson. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. 2nd down and goal. Wilson. Now he's forced out left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. On 3rd and goal, Wilson sets up the screen to Gordon. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. The kick by McManus is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
On 1st down, Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Jet was able to recover, and they'll keep possession thanks to a heads-up play.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. Let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jets. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts, as you can see the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway.
No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Bronco offense ready to begin this third quarter play. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box, establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have the control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Holding offense.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Wilson. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson.
He'll swing that.
Oh, Edmonds has it knocked loose. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Well, CD, that's one of those plays you put a mark by. I mean, that could be a big momentum swing here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Yeah, we may have to revisit it, right? Because if that drive ends up in the end zone, they're sitting pretty at that point. Now, instead, it's a 2-score game. That has a chance to tighten up considerably.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Play action. It's Wilson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
Well, it's time to give real credit there to the defense. They played that very well because of the drag route. He ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Able to connect with Barrios.
And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Paul ought to give up the middle.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the
football. We're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
So Wilson runs off, and now they will go to the man they call Greg the Leg, Greg Zuerlein. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Denver's offense now set to go. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Now it's Wilson. Out quickly to Judy. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. And defensively they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Patrick. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, that's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Throwing is Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. To throw again is Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This one to the sideline, he's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a 1st down. The kick by McManus is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting through.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And he returns this to the 22. And the Jets set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson to throw. Incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And pass complete to Moore. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
Just shy of the 30. Here's Wilson. That's going to be caught by Judy. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Sheldon Rankins, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Into the hands of Patrick left side. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And New York set to take the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. They go play action with Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack.
Baron Browning picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
On 3rd down, here's Hall.
And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a sniffed that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can.
And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy.
A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Broncos look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the first down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
McManus's point after is good, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Over the middle, he gets it to Berrios. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. On the draw, it's Hall. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of the tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Wilson.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
And some room to work. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Here's Wilson. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia.
The 30, 10, 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Holding. Defense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one.
That penalty
Hence
is
the
declined.
decline.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead is now 24. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Braxton Berrios now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
And New York set to take the field.
And that last pick six may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter. They need points quickly. Now the second-year man from Carolina, this is Michael Carter. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
They go play action now. Wilson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Randy Gregory getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack.
To throw on 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed a push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They'll run on 1st down, Edmonds.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Give them 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down.
This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity.